Hello everyone, good evening. How are you all? I am your educator Anjali Sharma and I welcome you all to Arpita Sharma classes. This is a new series wherein we'll analyze previous year economics questions via quiz. Before starting the quiz, a small announcement. You can subscribe to Arpita Sharma classes for daily Hindu analysis, daily economics MCQ series, Indian polity classes, strategy related classes to UPSC, CSC, and much more. Also join our Telegram channel Simplifying UPSC with Ease for class updates and notes. Also, Arpita ma'am is taking live classes on Academy Plus. Use code Sharma YT10 to get 10% discount. Now, let's begin with the quiz. So the question number 1 goes as: in India, inflation is measured by the wholesale price index numbers, consumers price index for urban non-manual workers, consumer price index for agricultural workers, or national income deflation. So what would be the correct answer, guys? So ये बहुत पुराना क्वेश्चन है, लाइक काफी पुराना हो गया अब तो 1997 के हिसाब से। तो आप उस समय का अगर आपको पता है कि कौन सा मेजर किया जाता था, यूज किया जाता था मेजर करने के लिए, आप वो भी बता सकते हैं। और अगर आपको उस समय का नहीं पता और करंट पता है तो वो आप कमेंट कर सकते हैं। दोनों केसेस में आप गलत नहीं होंगे। सो द करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए, होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स। So wholesale price index is an index used by Reserve Bank of India till 2014 to measure inflation. तो 2014 तक यही मेथड यूज किया जाता था। WPI is the price of representative basket of wholesale goods. It takes a basket of 697 items into account and shows the combined prices. So till 2014 WPI was used. Even if your answer was consumer price index or for B and C, something like that, you are not incorrect. But here it is specially asked about 1997, so yeah, the answer would be wholesale price index, which is option A. The RBI ex-governor Raghu Ram Rajan shifted to CPI is because WPI neglects services and bottlenecks between a wholesaler and a retailer. So CPI, based on 260 commodities including certain services, measures the changes in prices at the retail level. The base year of CPI is 2012. So if your answer, if there would have been any options such as B and C or A only, so that ways it would have worked, but otherwise the answer is wholesale price index. Moving on to our next question. Consider the following: fringe benefit tax, interest tax, security transaction tax. Which of the following is or are above our direct taxes or direct tax? One only, one and three only, two and three only, one, two and three, all of them, which is what would be the correct answer? Direct taxes कौन से होते हैं, guys? So for any tax to be qualified as direct tax, चलिए, first of all you guys tell me the answers, then only I'll give the correct one. Although my hopes are very high that you will be knowing this. So the correct answer is option D, which is 1, 2, 3, or all the above. All of these are direct taxes. So the direct taxes are paid entirely by a taxpayer directly to the government. This is the whole point of being the tax being direct, that it is entirely payable by the taxpayer directly to the government. It is also defined as a tax where the liability as well as the burden to pay it resides on the same individual. जिसका टैक्स बना है वही टैक्स पे करेगा. There would be no other person who would be paying it on my behalf. So fringe benefit tax, FBT, is fundamentally a tax that an employer has to pay in lieu of the benefits that are given to his or her employees. So this was given, FBT is given by the employer because of the certain benefits he provides to his employees. So it is the tax that is paid by the employer. Now, the fringe benefit tax was abolished in the financial bill of 2009, so more or less it will not be asked any further or any letter in any paper, but that is just an anticipation or assumption. Security transaction tax, STT, is the tax payable on the value of taxable securities transaction. So wherever the person is dealing in shares, equity, debentures, or whatever kind of securities in the stock market, he is liable to pay a certain amount of tax on the transaction that he does of the buying or selling of the equity shares or anything. So STT was introduced in India by 2004 budget. and is applicable with effect from 1st October 2004. So this was because people evade from taxes via capital gains, etc. So they wanted ki whenever the transaction is happening, that time only we need the tax. So it is like security transaction tax. Interest tax is imposed by a special tax on interest accrued in specific cases. The Interest Act of 1974 governs the tax process associated with the imposition and collection of interest tax. The Act applies to scheduled banks that are required to pay tax on the chargeable interest amounts they have on their deposits. This Act is no longer applicable with regard to chargeable interest accruing after 31st March 2000. So interest tax is also direct tax, applies to all the scheduled banks, ठीक है, जो वो interest maintain करते हैं उस पे apply होता था. And this act is no longer applicable with regard to chargeable interest accruing after 31st March 2000. Yes, so moving on to the next question. Which one of the following 5-year plans recognized human development as the core of all development efforts? So yeah, this is also a very old question, 1995. So as per this question, which of the following 5-year plans? If you know 5-year plans, this shouldn't be tough. So the third 5-year plan, the fifth 5-year plan, the sixth 5-year plan, the eighth 5-year plan. What would be the correct answer, guys? What is the question? It human development as core of development efforts. Human development की बात की जा रही है. Human development को कब सबसे ज़्यादा focus में लाया गया था? What would be the answer, guys? So the correct answer will be option D, which is the eighth 5-year plan. The eighth 5-year plan, the top priority was given to the development of human resources, that is employment, education, and public health, which is the correct answer. So this is the correct answer. Okay. And the third 5-year plan major focus was on agriculture, subsidies, self-sufficiency in food grains. Fifth 5-year plan, removal of poverty, attainment of self-reliance, priority to food and energy sector. Sixth 5-year plan, firstly focus was to enlarge employment in agriculture and allied activities with encouragement to small scale industries. Later, Congress rejected this and the objective shifted to removal of poverty by expanding economy. So ये तीनों ही नहीं है and thus we are left with the option D, which is the 8th 5-year plan. Moving on to our next question. What is the purpose of Vidyanjali Yojana? This is not a very old question. This is like recent times. मोदी जी सरकार की टाइम की है ये. बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट में आया हुआ है ये विद्यांजलि योजना. To enable the famous foreign educational institutions to open their campuses in India, to increase the quality of education provided in government schools by taking help from private sector and community, to encourage voluntary monetary contributions from private individuals and organizations so as to improve the infrastructure facilities for primary and secondary schools. What would be the correct answer? To enable the famous foreign एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस टू ओपन देयर कैंपसेस इन इंडिया, कि हम विद्यांजलि के अंदर हम प्रेफर करेंगे कि चलिए फेमस जो एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट्स है वो अपने कैंपसेस इंडिया में लगा सकते हैं. First option. Second option is the quality of education provided in government schools by taking help from private sector and the community. So the quality of education should be increased, that is provided in the government schools by providing help, by taking help from private sector and the community as a whole. So what is the most appropriate answer? The third option is to encourage voluntary monetary contributions, so that people are giving monetary contributions from private individuals or organizations, so that what happens, so that the infrastructure facilities for primary and secondary schools is increased, ताकि primary और secondary schools की infrastructure facilities को बेहतर किया जा सके. What would be the correct answer? Comment down your answers, guys. So the correct answer is option A, which is the two only statement. Only the second statement is correct. As per Indian Express, June 2016, HRD Minister has launched an initiative called Vidyanjali. This was launched by Smriti Rani to encourage youngsters to volunteer their services at any neighborhood government school. So volunteer करने की बात हुई है, लेकिन सर्विसेज जो है वो नेबरहुड गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में कोई भी यंगस्टर्स करें. It is not about the monetary contribution. So Accordingly, A is the most correct answer, which is to increase the quality provided in the government schools. ठीक है, प्राइवेट सेक्टर और कम्युनिटी से हेल्प ले करके एजुकेशन की क्वालिटी इंक्रीज करना. Now, what about the statement 3, because it includes voluntary monetary contributions? So the while the this website says that Vidyanjali will cover initiatives under CSR, PPP, PSU, but mobilization of voluntary monetary purpose, ठीक है, मॉनेटरी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन, जो मॉनेटरी शब्द है यहाँ पे, इसकी वजह से आंसर गलत हो गया है. इज नॉट द प्राइमरी एंड एक्सप्लिसिट पर्पस ऑफ द स्कीम. हमें पूछा गया था सवाल में कि व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ दिस विद्यांजलि स्कीम. दिस इज नॉट द पर्पस ऑफ द स्कीम, ऑल्दो इट डज फॉलो दैट. Not about voluntary monetary contribution. And the scheme is targeted at primary and upper primary class. So secondary schools infrastructure facilities are beyond its scope of work. So this infrastructure facility and secondary schools are beyond its scope of work. HRD ministries other schemes specifically counted class 9 onwards as secondary education. Hence option 3 is wrong, and therefore the correct answer is A. I hope this is purely justified. Moving on to the next question. Economic liberalization in India started with. So, this is a question from LPG, like a straightforward question. Substantial changes in industrial licensing policy. Option B, the convertibility of Indian rupee. Option C, doing away with procedural formalities for foreign direct investment. Option D, significant reduction in taxes. So, जितना हम यूपीएससी की प्रवृत्ति से वाकिफ हैं, नेचर से वाकिफ हैं, we know that almost all extreme, almost, not every extreme answer is wrong. So almost all, so significant reduction in tax rates is not, might not be the answer. So eliminating this, we are left with ABC. What is the most related to economic liberalization? What was liberalization? So LPG reforms may we remember that it was all about delicensing, that industries were delicensed, and there were license required for only a given list of few industries. So the correct answer is option A, substantial changes in industrial licensing. Economic liberalization in India started with industrial delicensing. So now moving on to our next question. During which 5-year plan the emergency clamped, new elections took place and the Janata Party was elected? So 5-year प्लान में से व्हाट वाज दैट 5-year प्लान जिसमें इमरजेंसी क्लैंप हुई थी, न्यू इलेक्शंस हुए थे और जनता पार्टी को इलेक्ट किया गया था? थर्ड, फोर्थ, फिफ्थ, सिक्स्थ, व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर? सो इमरजेंसी इंदिरा गांधी ने लगाई कब थी? जिन जिन को ये और पता है बताइए. सो दैट वाज इन 1975. आई एम गिविंग यू ऑलमोस्ट द हिंट्स. Okay, so the correct answer is option C, which is fifth. So emergency was clamped in 1978. This was during the fifth year 5-year plan when Janata Party led by Morarji Desai came to power. It terminated the 5-year plan and implemented the rolling plan instead, in which the targets could be revised as per the demands of the economy. It was unlike the 5-year plans which had fixed targets. It was during this plan that the 5-year plans were terminated and a rolling plan was implemented, which for as per that rolling plan means the targets could be revised as per the demands of the economy. What was the demand for the economy at that time, the targets can be revised as per that, and it was different from the 5-year plan because 5-year plans had fixed targets. Now moving on to our next questions. Why is offering of teaser loans by commercial bank a cause of economic concern? So this is not a very old question. Not very old means 5 to 6 years is fine, right? Okay, why is the offering of teaser loans by commercial banks a cause of economic concerns? So what are teaser loans? So the teaser loans are considered to be an aspect of subprime lending, and banks may have been exposed to the risk of defaulters in future. The teaser loans are mostly given to inexperienced entrepreneurs to set up manufacturing or export units. What would be the correct answer? The correct answer is option A, which is one only. So the teaser loan is an adjustable rate mortgage loan in which the borrower pays a very low initial rate interest rate which increases after a few years. So starting में you need to be very low amount of interest rate, and after that after few years it is increased. So teaser loans try to entice borrowers by offering an artificially low rate and small down payments, claiming that borrowers should be able to refinance before the increases occur. So what are teaser loan? Teaser loan actually tease you with a very low borrowing rate, with a very low rate of interest at which it is given to you, and after a few years it is increased. But the what these guys say that right now you can take it and after that you'll have money and you'll be able to refinance it. So teaser loans are considered an aspect of subprime lending as they usually offer to low income home buyers. Unfortunately, when these borrowers try to refinance the loan rate before the rate increases, most will not qualify for standard mortgages. This leaves borrower with increased monthly payments which many cannot afford. This method of loaning is considered risky as default rates are high. Hence the correct option is option A. तो मतलब आपने पहले इनिशियली स्टार्टिंग में काफी कम रेट पे लोन ले लिया, बाद में आपने सोचा कि ठीक है लोन को रीफाइनेंस कर देते हैं, पर आपके पास तब आपको कहीं से भी और लोन मिल नहीं पा रहा है या मॉर्गेज हो नहीं पा रहा है, आपकी सिक्योरिटीज की कोई वैल्यू नहीं लग पा रही है आपके एसेट्स की। सो दैट टाइम पे आप जब नहीं वापस दे पाएंगे तो आपके डिफॉल्ट करने की चांसेस ज़्यादा होंगे, विच इज द ऑप्शन ए में यही कहा गया है फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट में कि टीजर लोन्स आर कंसिडर टू बी एन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ सब प्राइम लेंडिंग एंड बैंक्स में बी एक्सपोज टू द रिस्क ऑफ डिफॉल्टर्स इन फ्यूचर्स। कि अभी तो आपने बहुत ज़्यादा लेंडर्स दिखा दिए कि हमें बहुत सारा बिजनेस हो गया, हमने बहुत सारे लोन दे दिए, बट आफ्टर दैट व्हेन यू वुड नॉट बी एबल टू कवर द लोन्स देन आपके डिफॉल्टर्स हो जाएंगे। सो नाउ मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, who among the following constitute the National Development Council (NDC)? The Prime Minister, the Chairman of Finance Commission, Ministers of Union Cabinet, Chief Ministers of the states. What would be the correct answer? The Prime Minister, the Chairperson, Ministers of the Union Cabinet, Chief Ministers of the state. What would be the correct answer? 1, 2, 3 only, 1, 3 and 4 only, 2 and 4 only, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, to reach the correct answer of this question, we need to eliminate the second option, which is the chairperson of the Finance Commission. He or she is not the person of, he or she is not the member of an NDC. And just by eliminating this option, we can reach to our correct answer. So 1, 2, 3 में से 2 आ रहा है cross, 2, 4 में से 2 and 4 में से 2 आ रहा है cross, 1, 2, 3, 4 में से 2 आ रहा है cross. So the only option that we are left is with 1, 3 and 4, which is option B. That is the correct answer. So now moving on to the next question. With reference to Indian Ocean Rim Association for Regional Cooperation IORARC, consider the following statements. It was established very recently in response to incidents of piracy and accidents of oil spills. It is an alliance meant for maritime security only. Which of the statements are given above are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. What is the correct answer? So Indian Ocean Rim Association for Regional Cooperation was established recently, as per them, recently as in 2015. तो कितना recent? 2000, 2015, 12, 13. In response to incidents of piracy and accidents of oil spills. Okay. It is an alliance meant for maritime security only. Maritime security only means sea level security only. So what would be the correct answer? Comment down your answers below. The correct answer is option D, which is neither 1 nor 2. So the IORARC is a regional cooperative initiative of the Indian Ocean Rim countries, which was established in Mauritius in March 1977. So I guess not so recent. So, with the aim of promoting economic and technical cooperation, IORARC is the only pan-Indian ocean grouping. It brings together countries from 3 continents having different sizes, economic strengths, and a wide diversity of languages and cultures. It aims to create a platform for trade, socio-economic, and cultural cooperation in the Indian Ocean Rim area, which constitutes a population of about 2 million people. So, it does not mean only maritime security, and it was not being recently established, so both of the statements are incorrect. Presently it has 19 members: Australia, Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Iran, Kenya, Malaysia, Madagascar, Mauritius, Mozambique, Oman, Seychelles, Singapore, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, Thailand, UAE, and Yemen. Six priority areas were identified to take forward the cooperation under IORARC, that are maritime safety and security. So this is just not only, ये सिर्फ ओनली ये वाला नहीं है, इसके अलावा भी पांच हैं. ट्रेड एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट फैसिलिटेशन, fisheries management, disaster risk reduction, academic and S&T cooperation, and tourism promotion and cultural exchanges. So yes, moving on to our last question, guys. With reference to the 14th Finance Commission, which of the following statements is or are correct? It has increased the shares of states in the central divide pool from 32% to 42%. It has made recommendations concerning sector specific grants. What which of the statements are correct? Use the code. One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. So what is the correct answer? दोनों सही हैं, एक भी सही नहीं है, कोई एक सही है, तो कौन सा? What is the correct answer, guys? So the correct answer is option A, which is one only. Only the first statement is correct. So the Commission has recommended states' share in net proceeds of tax revenues be 42%, a huge jump from 32% recommended by the 13th Finance Commission. The largest change ever in the percentage of the devolution. This is the largest change from 32% to 42% as compared to the total devolutions in 2014-15. Total devolution of states in 2015-16 will increase by over 45%. No sector specific grant recommendations overweight. Please read the link below for the detailed recommendations if you want to. So the only statement one is correct. Now, so let us end this class with a very positive note. निंदा से घबराकर अपने लक्ष्य को ना छोड़, क्योंकि लक्ष्य मिलते ही निंदा करने वालों की राय बदल जाती है. ये आप सभी ने देखा होगा कि वो तो ऐसा कर रही है, वो तो ऐसा कर रही है, दिन भर फोन में लगे रहते हैं, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. आपको काफी कुछ सुनने को मिलता है. पर जब आप अपना लक्ष्य अचीव कर लें, तब आपको कोई कुछ नहीं सुना पाता. तब सब आपकी प्रेजेस में आ जाते हैं कि मैंने तो कहा ही था, वो बहुत अच्छा कर रही है, वो बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है. सो यस, अपनी लक्ष्य को कभी मत छोड़िए. दैट इज द होल टाइटल. टिल देन, हैप्पी लर्निंग.